What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another video, and today's video is another DVD/Blu-ray Pickups video. Now, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I've done a Pickups video, and that's mainly just because I had an anime convention that I went to, and also I got promoted at work, so my schedule's been kind of wonky, and it's only going to get a little wonkier in the future, so I'm not sure when the next one I'm going to do is going to be. But I've wanted to do this Pickups video last week. I haven't gotten anything since last week, but I have a lot of stuff to go over. I've got 15 different items, 5 things on DVD and then 10 things on Blu-ray, and I just got a lot of stuff that I picked up, so I'll go through everything, I'll tell you what I paid for everything, and I'll talk a little bit about each item, and let's just get right into it. So we'll go to the DVD stuff first because there's less of that, and I got some cool things on DVD. So, the first thing that I picked up, this is in no particular order, I'm not doing this by which store I bought it from, but I will tell you what I paid for everything. So, the first thing I picked up is a movie that I have seen, I think, maybe one time, and I saw it a while back. It was on VHS when I saw it, so it's been a while since I've seen this movie. I remember enjoying this movie, but not as much as other submarine movies, because this is a submarine movie. I picked up Crimson Tide. This is a movie with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman. And I really don't remember a whole lot about this movie. If I remember correctly, because I have a hard time distinguishing this between Crimson Tide and Red October, so because the covers kind of look similar. So a lot of what I think is, I think this is an espionage movie that takes place in a submarine, sort of similar to Red October. So there's a lot of overlap. But I really don't remember a whole lot about this movie. Like I said, I've only seen it like one time. But I did want to pick this one up. I got this one for $3.75 at Walmart's bargain bin. And it's just one that I remember enjoying liking. It's not as good as U-571 or The Hunt for Red October from what I remember. But it is one that I liked, and I wanted to pick this one up. And for that price, you can't really go wrong. This is the DVD version. It does have no special features to speak of. On the back, it does have a little special features box, but all it says is widescreen, French language track, and Spanish subtitles. Those are not special features, guys. Stop putting those in those boxes. So this is a bare bones release. I'm pretty sure I have yet to watch this one again, but you know, nothing really comes in it or anything. But I figured, why not pick it up? I remember enjoying this movie, and you know, Denzel Washington's a pretty good actor, so happy to have that one in the collection. Alright, the next one I picked up is one that I have been wanting to get for a while now. I would rather have gotten this on Blu-ray, but I don't really mind having this one on DVD because it's not my favorite Mel Brooks film, and I picked up Robin Hood Men in Tights. Now this, for those of you who don't know Mel Brooks does a lot of parody movies that sort of parody different famous genres. It basically, this one parodies a bunch of different Robin Hood films, and I think it does a really good job. And, you know, it's a comedy movie, so it's not super serious or anything. It does have some special features on the disc. This one comes with HBO special, Robin Hood Men in Tights, The Legend Had It Coming. And it also comes with a theatrical trailer. So not a whole lot of special features on this one either, but definitely happy to get this one. This is, I believe I also paid $3.75 for this one from Walmart's bargain section, so really happy to own that. You know, always love Mel Brooks movies. You know, they're pretty lighthearted. They're just parody movies, which I always like watching. So happy to own that one. All right, so the next movie I picked up is actually a collection of 3 different movies. I already have some of his other movies in a separate collection, but these 3 movies were not in that collection, so all 3 of these movies I didn't have. This is another DVD, obviously it's another DVD set, but these are 3 movies that I really like by this actor, and that is the Will Ferrell 3-movie collection, including Step Brothers, The Other Guys, and Talladega Nights. I got this from Walmart for $10. These all came with digital copies of each individual movie, so that's another cool bonus for this. I just really wanted to get these movies. I didn't own any of them yet, so I'm really happy to own these. So I own a lot of Will Ferrell movies because I believe my other Will Ferrell collection had Blades of Glory, Semi-Pro, The Campaign, and Old School, and I have 3 of the other classic Will Ferrell movies in this. I really I think out of the classic Will Ferrell movies, I think the only one I need left is Elf. So I have a lot of movies by him. He's one of my favorite comedic actors. I really enjoy his style. And the downside to this set is it does only include theatrical editions of Step Brothers and The Other Guys, and I don't think there was an alternate cut for Talladega Nights, but I thought that those movies were good respectively in their theatrical cuts, so I don't really mind that, and I think it's a great collection here. So one downside to this set is it does use the stacked disc spindle, which I really hate. It's probably the worst way to package discs. So that's one downside. There's no disc art or anything either, but I'm happy to have that in my collection, so I have those movies now. Alright, so the next one I picked up is a used movie. I went back home for a weekend, and I picked up a used movie. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I've been wanting to check this movie out for a very long time, and I never really got around to it. So I picked this one up used for $2 on DVD. And I'm actually kind of happy I bought this on DVD now that I've seen it, because I watched it because this was a blind buy. But I picked up Trick or Treat, and this was a blind buy. I've heard that this is one of the best modern horror movies. I've heard it hyped up on Reddit, and I just heard nothing but good things about it. And so I was really wanting to pick up the collector's edition Blu-ray, but I figured I found it at my local used store back at my parents' house for about $2, and I was like, you know what, $2 is nothing. I can check it out for that much, and if I really want to, I'll buy a Blu-ray. And I'm probably not going to upgrade this. This does come with some special features. It comes with a special feature called Trick or Treat Season's Greeting, and that's an animated short with optional commentary. And it also, I think it comes with a director's commentary as well. So that doesn't have a whole lot of special features, but this movie, I think, was incredibly overhyped. I do not think it's as good as people say it is. It's just not that great. I will talk about some things I like about it. So some of the things I really like about it is I really like the soundtrack. The soundtrack's really good. And I feel like this movie starts off very strong. But it just sort of fizzles out. It doesn't have a strong middle, and it doesn't have a strong end at all. I feel like it tries to do too much. What I think they should have done with Trick or Treat is I think they should have stuck with one villain or one group of murderers or something like that, because it really kind of spreads it out too much, and it just kind of seems like violence for the sake of violence with no real connection. There's no real connection between any of the deaths in this movie or any of the scary bits. There's nothing really connecting it together. Like, you'd think, because this guy's on the cover, that he'd have a prominent role in this film. Like, that's what I thought. I thought this was going to be like a monster film with this guy, and I was really looking forward to that, and it's not. He's really only in the last maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the film, and he doesn't really do a whole lot, and he's not even that scary in the way that they film him. It's just not very well done. I understand the concept behind the movie, but it's just not that engaging. I think they could have done it a lot better. I don't want to spoil too much, but I feel like the first death and the first real murder, they should have stuck with that character specifically, because he has the most screen time in this in terms of actual murderers and stuff like that. I feel like they should have stuck with that story and that story alone, and then maybe down the line do like a Trick or Treat 2 with another character, and then Trick or Treat 3 with the third character, because there's like, I think 4 different murderers. Yeah, 4 different murderers or murdering groups in this film, and there's none of them which are connected to each other. So I don't really think there's a whole lot of cohesion between this movie, and I really think it's kind of overhyped. I think they could have split this up into like 4 separate movies, and it probably would have went over much better, because there's no real tension because they try to go through everything too quickly. So not a super huge fan of this movie. I thought it was overhyped, but I'm happy to have it in the collection nonetheless, because it is a cool horror movie. It's got some cool design elements, and the soundtrack's really good. So the last thing I picked up on DVD is something I picked up off Amazon. I think I picked this one up for $10, and this is a continuation of a set that I'm trying to complete, and I'm super excited to own this, and that is Vikings Season 3. I haven't actually watched Vikings in about 1.5 years now, because there's this thing going on where they weren't putting the new episodes up online on streaming apps, so it was really hard to find them, and I just kind of stopped watching because it was so hard to watch it, and I don't have cable or anything, so I just pretty much stopped watching it. I'm just going to wait for him to come out on DVD and just watch the whole series that way. But I have seen up to season 4, and I finished all the way up through season 4. So far, I think my favorite season is season 3. I think they do a great job in season 3. There's a lot of cool twists, and I feel like this is really where it starts to take off. Not that season 2 is bad, but I think season 2 was good, season 3 was great, and season 4 was great. So I'm really excited to own this. I can't wait to get season 4, and then also, I think they only have half of season 5 out on DVD, so I plan on getting that eventually. But I absolutely love Vikings. It's a great show, and super happy to own season 3. Alright, now let's move on to the Blu-ray stuff. So, I do have 10 things on Blu-ray, so this is going to be a very long video. But I just picked up a bunch of different random stuff. So, the first thing I picked up on Blu-ray is actually something I picked up from my used store when I went back home. And I've been looking for these movies. This is actually a set of 3 movies. It's a trilogy. And I've been looking for these movies for quite a long time. I've just been waiting for a good price. And I really personally like the way that this set looks. And I picked up the Tobey Maguire SpiderMan Trilogy. I picked this up for, I think, $8. And this was used, obviously. And it's a fantastic set. I love the artwork. It's got an embossed cover on the slip cover here, and then as you fold it open, you get artwork for each individual movie, plus there's a bonus disc added on at the end there. Now these are my favorite Spider-Man movies, purely for nostalgia reasons. I grew up, obviously, with this Spider-Man. I remember this was actually the first Spider-Man movie was the last movie that my parents got in VHS, because my grandma didn't know if they had a DVD player at the time, and I was with her when she bought the Spider-Man movie. I'm like, can we please get Spider-Man? And my grandma's like, yeah, go get it. And I brought her the DVD, and my grandma's like, I don't think you guys have a DVD player. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we do. And she wasn't sure, so she bought the VHS. So this was like the last movie on VHS that I think my parents had. And then obviously we switched it all over to DVD, but I absolutely love these movies. I think Spider-Man 1 is the best in the series. I know a lot of people love Spider-Man 2, but I love William Dafoe as the Green Goblin. He does a really good job, and I just love the first Spider-Man movie. It's so good, it's so classic. It has the best intro in any Spider-Man, and no other Spider-Man has really tried to touch the intro story of Spider-Man because of how good they did the intro to Spider-Man in the first Spider-Man movie. And I think it's a classic, and it's super well done. I'm sad that they never really made a 4th Spider-Man movie, but I'm super happy to own all these and add those to my collection. I love Spider-Man. Alright, the next movie I picked up was a blind buy, and I've heard a lot about this movie on Reddit mainly, and I know it's a horror movie, and I just figured I'd pick this one up on a whim, and I just, decided to buy it, and that is Happy Birthday to Me. And this is the VHS slipcover edition from Walmart. I got this for $7.50, as you can tell. And I really don't know anything about this movie. I know it's published by Mill Creek. I know it's kind of like a B, not high-budget horror movie, but the concept on the back sounded pretty interesting. I haven't watched this one yet. I've seen everything else that I've shown so far, but this is the first one that I picked up that I haven't seen yet, and I'm still looking forward to it. It seems like an interesting concept, and could be some mystery elements in there, and I'm kind of intrigued as how this one's going to turn out. And I'm also really happy to support Mill Creek, because Mill Creek does some really cool stuff in terms of releasing, and obviously the slipcover and the inside has a different artwork, so happy to own that one, interested to check that one out. Alright, the next one that I picked up is another slipcover, VHS slipcover from Walmart. This one was also $7.50, and I picked up The Princess Bride. Now, I know that Criterion has a collection version of this, and I thought about picking that one up, but this one was $7.50, and that copy from Criterion Collection is like 30-something. And honestly, I like this movie, but not enough to pay $30 for it, so I just figured I'm going to get this version instead. Plus, this also comes with a bunch of special features. I don't know if Happy Birthday to Me comes with any special features. Also, SpiderMan Trilogy doesn't really say what special features come with it, but it's just all of the normal Blu-ray copies bundled in that trilogy. So whatever are on the normal Blu-rays, that's the special features on that trilogy. But there are a bunch of special features on Princess Bride, so Some of the special features on Princess Bride are True Love, the Princess Bride phenomenon, and then you have cast interviews, film tributes, fan parodies, and then it says and more. I hate when they do an and more. And then it says 2 audio commentaries, 7 additional featurettes, including The Art of Fencing, The Story of the Princess Bride, The Dead Pirate Roberts, and more. A second and more. And then it also has Carrie Elwes' video diary. So there's a lot of special features on here, some of which they don't actually list on the back. But I honestly am super excited to own this. This is a great classic movie. Not my favorite movie of all time or anything, but it's a good movie, and I had to own it. It's an absolute classic, and I love the VHS slipcover version of this, so I'm super happy to own that one. Alright, the next movie I picked up is another Walmart movie, and I have been wanting to get this movie for a while, but I always kind of had a hard time finding it on Blu-ray. And then I found this version that has a really nice slipcover. It looks super sleek, and I really love it. And I picked up Mission Impossible 1. Obviously, this is the first Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. Picked this one up for $7.50 as well, and from Walmart. And I really like this movie, and I like the Mission Impossible movies a lot. I really do. But there's no denying that this is the best Mission Impossible movie. And I think the reason for that is this is the only Mission Impossible movie that's sort of like a thriller mystery as well as an action movie. And it's more of a mystery, more of like a thriller than a action movie. Whereas after Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 2 still has some mysterious elements to it, but it was mainly an action movie. And at Mission Impossible 3, they just basically became action movies, sort of like the Bourne movies, and they've been like that ever since. So this is the only one that's sort of in this style, and I think it does a really good job, and it's a lot different than the rest of the Mission Impossible movies, and it's interesting to see how far they've strayed from the original concept. But I think this is the best one in the series. Tom Cruise does a fantastic job in this, and I'm absolutely ecstatic to get this. And the slipcover is super nice. It looks super sleek. You've got the red and white color combo here, and it just kind of flows all the way around the slipcover. If it wasn't for this blue bar, it would probably look super sweet. Like if they just didn't have the Blu-ray thing, or maybe they just had a white bar with red Blu-ray right there, it would have been the best looking slipcover I probably have. But there's a bunch of special features on this disc as well. So the special features are Mission Remarkable, 40 years creating the impossible mission. Mission Explosive Exploits. Mission Spies Among Us. Mission Catching the Train. Mission International Spy Museum. Mission Agent Dossiers. Excellence in Film, Cruise. Generation, Cruise. And then Photo Gallery. So there's a lot of special features on this disc, and there's a lot of behind the scenes aspects, so I'm really excited to pick this one up and add this to the collection. So can't wait to watch that one again. I haven't seen that in a very long time. So I'm gonna cut the video right here and then splice it together because I have 6 more things to go through, so I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that brief cut there. I had to, you know, cut it because we were getting up there in minutes. So, still have a couple other Blu-rays to go through, so just moving right along. The next thing I picked up is a series of movies that I have been looking to get for a while, but I never really jumped on it, but I decided, you know what, this is the time I'm going to get it. And I picked up the Nightmare on Elm Street collection, and this includes all 7 original films on Blu-ray. Now I picked this one up from Walmart for $25, I think. And I think that's a pretty good deal. There's a lot of content in here, and there's a ton of bonus features, so I've got a lot in this set. So this set includes A Nightmare on Elm Street, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then it also has a 5th disc that has 3 hours of special features. Now, one of the things I don't like about this particular set of Blu-ray movies is the first movie is on its own individual Blu-ray, which is nice. As you can see here, normal Blu-ray. But then the rest of the movies all the way, including up to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, there's 2 per Blu-ray, so I'm not sure if that affects image quality or not, because I haven't actually watched all of these particular discs, but I was a little disappointed by that. So the second disc has A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 3, the third disc has A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5, and the fourth disc has Freddy's Dead and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then there's a fifth disc with bonus features. So that's one thing that I would say is a downside to this set, because I know the DVD set I don't think does that. So that is one difference. But I'm sure that this is still inking out above DVD in terms of image quality, even with 2 movies per disc and special features on each disc. So let's get right into the special features, because there's a lot of them. Alright, so the special features for A Nightmare on Elm Street, and this is only the first movie, includes Ready Freddy focus points, alternative takes, and filmmaking secrets behind the nightmare by jumping into video highlights while watching the movie, commentaries by director Wes Craven, co-stars, I'm not even going to pronounce the names, and the cinematographer, and then there's also commentary with Wes Craven and different co-stars. And then you have alternate endings, 3 featurettes including The House That Freddy Built, The Legacy of New Line Horror, Never Sleep Again, The Making of A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Night Terrors, The Origins of Wes Craven's Nightmares, and an interactive trivia track. And that's just the first movie. And then disc 2, for special features on Nightmare on Elm Street 2, you have 4 featurettes including Freddy on 8th Street, Heroes and Villains, The Male Witch and Psychosexual Circus, and theatrical trailers. And then you also have special features for Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and that includes 7 featurettes, including Burnt Out, Fan Mail, The House That Freddy Built, Onward, Christian Soldiers, Snakes and Ladders, That's Showbiz, and Trading Eights, Duck and Dream Warriors, music video, and theatrical trailers. On disc 3, you have special features for Nightmare on Elm Street 4, including 4 featurettes, The Finish Line, Krueger and Freddy Krueger, I'm not sure why it's printed like that, Hopeless Chest, Let's Makeup, and theatrical trailers. You also have on that same disc special features for Nightmare on Elm Street 5, including 5 featurettes, Hopkins Directs, A Slight Miscalculation, The Sticky Floor, Take the Stairs, and Womb Raiders, and includes 2 music videos, Fat Boys Are You Ready for Freddy, and Houdini Anyway, I Gotta Swing It. And then you also have a theatrical trailer for that movie. The fourth disc has special features for Freddy's Dead, including 4 featurettes called 86th, Hellraiser, Rachel's Dream, and 3D Demise, and includes theatrical trailers. And it also has, the same disc has special features for Wes Craven's New Nightmare, including commentary by Wes Craven, 5 featurettes, including Becoming a Filmmaker, An Insane Trope, Problem with Sequels, and 2 Worlds, and theatrical trailer. And then the 5th disc is all bonus features, and it says includes over 3 hours of special features. The headlining one is a retrospective Fear Himself, The Life and Crimes of Freddy Krueger, 2 episodes from Freddy's Nightmares TV series, and Welcome to Primetime Feature Gallery, and Conclusions Feature Gallery, and it doesn't list the rest of the special features. But there are obviously a ton of special features in here, so super excited to get this. This is one of my favorite horror movies. This is definitely one of my favorite slashers, probably my second favorite, right behind Scream, and I think it's much better than the Friday the 13th series. No offense to people that like Friday the 13th. I just think the first 2 Friday the 13th are definitely the best, and there's nothing really interesting about the ones that I've seen yet. I still need to see 3 more Friday the 13th movies, or maybe 2. I don't remember. But I've seen a majority of them, and they just kind of really degrade in quality after the second one, so really excited to check this one out. Granted, I haven't seen all the Nightmare on Elm Streets either. I've only seen the first 2, and the remake, which is not on this pack, so definitely excited to get that one. Alright, the next movie I picked up was a order from Amazon, and I've been wanting to check this one out for a while. This is one that is, the reason I picked this one up, I didn't really hear a whole lot about it, but I did see that it is certified fresh, and it's won some awards, and it has my favorite actor in it, so I had to pick this one up because I'm always interested to see what he's doing. And that was Yoke Phoenix in You Were Never Really Here. This seems like a really, really interesting sort of thriller movie, sort of in the same vein as like Taken. I kind of got Taken vibes from it, but I feel like this one's going to be much, much better. I'm a huge fan of Yoke Phoenix. I'm pretty much a fan of anything he's been in. All of the movies I've seen him in, he's been phenomenal and basically carries the movie. He is my favorite actor, and I just think he's a phenomenal actor, probably one of the best around. And I'm super excited to check out this movie because he's the headliner for it, and seems like an interesting concept. So super happy to get that one. Haven't watched this one yet. Might watch this one later. Paid $15 for this on Amazon, and it comes with a digital code. So really happy to have that. Didn't come with a slipcover, which is kind of sad, but what can you do about it? You ordered it on Amazon. Alright, so the next movie I picked up is an interesting movie. I ordered this one on Amazon as well. I think I paid $5 for this one. I've seen this, and it's actually a really, really funny movie. I really like it. It's got a lot of charm to it, and it's got some very unique features to it. And I picked up Clue the movie. For those of you who didn't know, there is a movie based on the board game Clue. And unlike other board game movies like Battleship, this one actually tries to follow the premise of the board game, which is kind of cool. So it's a murder mystery movie with some tongue-in-cheek comedy in it. I think this was in the 60s or 70s, or maybe it's the 80s. 80s, wow, I just butchered that. It was 85. And it's just really well done. It knows what kind of movie it is. It knows it's not a high-budget movie, and it does what it does well. And it's a really unique movie in the sense that one of the special features on here is 3 different surprise endings. Now, when you watch this movie, you have the choice of either having all the endings back-to-back, or having one of the endings randomly chosen for you, which I think is the better way to watch it because it keeps it, suspenseful. And that's right, there are 3 endings to this movie that were shown in theaters. Depending on which time you went and which theater you went to, you got a different ending in each showing, which is super unique. I've never heard of another movie doing that, and it's just really, really cool, and I wanted to own it for that fact alone, and it's very entertaining. I think it does a good job. It's not like a super well-acted movie, but it's very cheesy, and it knows it's cheesy, and it's just a really fun movie, and I'm happy to own that. Alright, the next movie I picked up is another movie that this movie is one I've been really, really wanting for a long time, and it's one of my favorite horror movies. This is such a good horror movie. I think it's very underrated, and I just absolutely like this horror movie a lot. It's super creepy. I love it. It really gives me chills, and it's super cool. Now, I'm not sure if this movie's still in print, because this is a very old copy of the Blu-ray, and this is the only Blu-ray copy of this I could find, and I know that this isn't being sold brand new because Amazon isn't selling it themselves, and that's normally a good way to check if it's in print or not. But it may still be in print, just not on Amazon right now. But it's an older copy for sure, and that is Mirrors. So this is a horror movie, obviously, about mirrors and ghosts, and it's super, super creepy. I absolutely love it. For those of you who don't know, Mirrors is sort of based on the same principle as the superstition of Bloody Mary. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's basically about a spirit that gets trapped in a mirror when it dies, and it sort of takes that whole concept and turns it into a really cool horror movie. And I really, really like the way they did it. They shot it very well. It's very creepy. It's very well acted, and it's just really well done. Super happy to own this. I know there's a sequel to this. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I'm really happy to own this. It does have a lot of special features too, so the special features include both the theatrical and unrated version of the film, reflections, making of mirrors, shockumentary. I'm not really sure why they used that word. Anna Esker hospital footage, behind the mirrors featurette, animated storyboard sequence, deleted scenes and alternate endings with optional commentary, which is always cool to get commentary on deleted scenes as to why they weren't included. And then you also have something called bonus view, mirror picture-in-picture commentary. So it's got one of those director's commentaries with video, which is really cool. And it also says something called Enhanced for D-Box Motion Control Systems. I honestly have no idea what that is. And then it also has a second disc with the digital copy, because this is a very old, this is one of the first wave of digital copies are included, where it includes, oh man, it comes with a bunch of pamphlets because it's an early Blu-ray. It comes with a disc digital copy that was redeemable on iTunes. I'm not sure if those are still valid or not. I haven't really checked. But I don't really use iTunes, so I don't really use those. And I don't even have a disk drive in my computer. So, yeah, I'm super happy to own this. It's one of my favorite horror movies, and I'm really happy to get this movie. Kiefer Sutherland does a great job, so really happy to own that. Alright, the next movie I picked up is this is the most recent pickup I got. This is the only movie I picked up this week, actually. And I picked this one up on a whim. I really wanted this movie just because I have a lot of nostalgia value for it. And I picked up Batman Forever. I paid $5 for this at Best Buy in their bargain bin. I'm a huge fan of the Tim Burton Batman series. And in my opinion, this movie gets a lot more flack than I think it deserves. It's not as good as the first two Tim Burton Batman movies, mainly because Tim Burton didn't direct this movie. He was only an executive producer, but I feel like this is still a decent Batman movie with a lot of entertainment value. I think this one is the last in the Tim Burton line that is at least decent and rewatchable. I do not like Batman and Robin. I think that is garbage compared to the rest of them. And although this one's not as good as Batman Returns or Batman 1989, it's still a good movie, and I still really like this one a lot. I really love Jim Carrey's Riddler. I think he does a good job. And I really like this movie a lot. This is one of the ones I watched a ton when I was a kid on VHS. I rewatched this all the time. There's some special features on this as well. You have a commentary by director Joel Schumacher, some additional scenes, a featurette called Riddle Me This, Why is Batman Forever? A featurette called Shadows of the Bat, Cinematic Saga of the Dark Knight Part 5. Interesting, it's a Part 5 of a documentary. I don't know where the other parts of that are. You have a featurette called Beyond Batman Documentary Gallery, so it has a bunch of different small documentaries. Ooh, this is my favorite featurette on this. I'm so happy this is on here. Seal, Kiss from a Rose music video. Super happy that that's on there. It's a great song, and it's a great music video with super cheesy cuts of this movie in it. For those of you who haven't seen it, YouTube it, it's great. Super happy that it's on here because the YouTube video is only 480p, and this is going to be in Blu-ray, so this is going to be pretty sweet to watch. Then it also has a featurette called The Heroes and the Villains Profile Galleries and Theatrical Trailer. So there's a lot of special features on this disc, and it's a really great set, especially for $5. You can't go wrong. And I'm super excited to own this. I don't plan on buying Batman and Robin. I may eventually pick it up on Blu-ray just for completionist's sake, but more than likely I'm only going to get that on DVD if I ever buy it. Because I have the exclusive, I can't remember what kind of packaging it's called, but it's like this plastic clamshell magnetic packaging that's really, really nice. It's the Diamond Edition of 1989 Batman. It's really, really, really beautiful. And then I also have the Steelbook of Batman Returns, and then I have the standard version of Batman Forever, so I've got a lot of that stuff. Let's move on to the last thing I picked up. So the last thing I picked up is something that I've been meaning to pick up for a while now. I picked this one up from my local used store. I only paid $15 for it, and that is the Hobbit Motion Picture Trilogy. This is all three of the Hobbit movies theatrical edition. Now, I wasn't too concerned about not getting the extended edition of these movies just because I felt that these movies were already way too long in general, seeing as it's one book stretched out into 3 different movies, so there's a lot of content in these movies that's just not in the books, and a lot of it's stretched out way too long. And there's only one possible thing that I could think of that I'm not even sure is in the extended editions that I would want more of in these movies, and that is the actual Smaug attacking the village scene. If there was more Smaug attacking the village, that would be something I would want. Other than that, I'm perfectly happy with the theatrical version, so I picked this one up. So this has all 3 of the theatrical versions, including the bonus discs for each individual Blu-ray. These movies are alright. They're nowhere near as good as the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think they're okay, but They definitely have some entertainment value and definitely worth watching. I just think it relied way too much on CGI. The CGI wasn't that great. There were obvious differences between CGI and practical effects. And just the color grading in this movie is just so weird. I just don't like it. So, I'm not a huge fan of the Hobbit series, but it's something I wanted to pick up for completion's sake, so I have all the Lord of the Rings stuff. And I'm happy to own this. Definitely, I haven't seen these since they came out, so I might check these out again sometime soon. But let me know in the comment box below if the extended edition of Desolation of Smaug in fact does have, or maybe it was Battle of the Five Armies. I can't remember which one has the actual Smaug attacking the village in it, but whichever one does, for those of you who have the extended edition, let me know if there's more Smaug action in that movie, because I'm really curious if there is or isn't. Because if there's not, then there's really no reason for me to buy the extended edition. So that's everything I picked up. I know I had a ton of stuff to go through, and this is a very long video, but I'm super excited for everything I have. Really, really cool pickups, in my opinion. Got a lot of variety, got some horror, got some action, got some fantasy, got some all sorts of different crap. And yeah, so let me gather all the Blu-rays to kind of do an overview of those. So here are the Blu-rays that I picked up. And here, whoa, almost dropped them. Here are the DVDs that I picked up. So that's everything that I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. Did you enjoy this video? What did you guys pick up? Let me know if you have any recommendations. I always try to read and watch everything you guys recommend, and I so far have. I also respond to every single comment, so if you guys just want to chat or you have any opinions on these movies, let me know in the comment box below, and I'm happy to talk about it. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.